Welcome back to Bill's Bets and Beers. I'm Chad, the host. Today, we're going to be doing a video on the Sunday Night Football parlay. That's going to be the Chargers versus the 49ers. It's going to be an interesting game. And also going through some Sunday game parlays as well. This is a channel where I mostly talk about Bills football, the NFL in general, walk through some bets, mostly Thursday night, Monday night, and Sunday night football parlays, throwing in some Sunday game parlays as well, and then on top of that, doing a occasional tasting and rating of tasty brew, mostly from local area, but doing a couple generic, I guess, more well-known beers as well. So let's go into this. Let's start off with the injury report. For the Sunday night football game, the Niners, they don't have much people out, to be honest. They're going to be down Eric Armstead, defensive lineman. He's out with a football ankle injury. Defensive lineman Samson Epicam, quad and Achilles. He's also going to be doubtful. I don't think he had limited practice in it all this week. Then cornerback Jason Verrett, he's also going to be out with a knee. And a good sign on the injury report, wide receiver Deebo Samuel, still listed on it with a hamstring, was full participation all week. So that's a good sign there. Chargers, wide receiver Keenan Allen is still out with the hamstring injury. The other wide receiver, Mike Williams, is also out with his ankle injury. Definitely had to be a high ankle sprain. Then the kicker, surprisingly, Dustin Hopkins, his right hamstring is causing him to be out this game. So that'll be interesting on that point. I'm not sure who's kicking the field goals now. Probably the punter, if he was good at it before. 1 second, I'm going to squint this down. Watching some UFC stuff at the same time. Also, offensive tackle Trey Pipkins, his knee did not practice all week and he is questionable. So, I mean, the offensive line over there is the Chargers have been interesting lately. I mean, just to say that. And I think having the injury, if Pipkins doesn't come in and play, that might be, I don't know how their squad works, but I think that would definitely hinder them. And that kicker being out is going to be interesting. They're going to go for more fourth downs that close into the end. If the replacement kicker can't get a kick like 40 yards out, like on a good average, like good always hitting it, they're probably going to go for a lot of fourth downs, or punting it and trying to sky him and land him within like 5 yards of the end zone. But yeah, let's get into some NFL news as well. Just so this will like show why I put some parlays the way I did and all that fun stuff. Kyler Murray, hamstring. He's a game time decision against the Rams. And that's interesting because Matt Stafford is also still out technically due to the concussion. He is not ruled out of the game. I think he's also going to be a game time decision at this point. Just if he can clear the concussion protocol. Then the Panthers, the cornerback Dante Jackson, he actually, I know what he did with his Achilles, but that on that Thursday night game, he's out for the season now because of it. So that's not good. Well, I mean, their season wasn't going that great anyways, but that just, whoever goes up against them now is going to make it have an easier way of beating them, even though they just beat the Falcons, who I have actually winning that division still. I think they can still grab it because I think Tampa's losing this week anyways. Then the Browns, the tight end David Njoku, he's out for this week against the Dolphins in an ankle injury. I'm guessing it's just like a high ankle sprain or whatever it is. And then TJ Watt, he's expected to return this week. I think I said that last week as well. So hopefully it returns this week. They'll be going up against the Saints, and the game is just going to be a mess. That would definitely grab the under if you're going to be betting on that game. But yeah, let's get into my my bets right now. I'll start off with the Sunday Night Football 6-leg parlay. I put that through FanDuel. I had a lot of I had $5 extra from my parlays that I put in, like free money, because I did that no sweat bet, so I got $5 back from it. So I have Austin Ekeler anytime touchdown. He's gonna be the only one on that team getting any source of, like, I don't know, just any source of like offensive action over there, especially with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen out. It just makes sense that he's gonna get in the end zone. Debo Samuel anytime touchdown. Like I said, with him, that hamstring being full participation all week, he's definitely going to be getting a lot more touches and stuff now. So I see him getting in the end zone at least once. Then I have Austin Ekeler over 40.5 receiving yards, and Josh Palmer at an alternate receiving yards, 60 yards plus. It gave me pretty good odds on that, but I see them at least getting some yards down the field. And with Keenan Allen and Williams out, it's showing him as the number one wide receiver. And yeah, that's going to put people to watch him more, but he's going to get the targets, so he should be able to get those yards. I also had Garoppolo, Jimmy Garoppolo, over 240.5 passing yards, and Christian McCaffrey over 82.5 rushing yards. Like I said, with this game, I think McCaffrey's definitely going to get his touches. He's going to get his yards. He's been pumping up around 100 plus the past couple weeks, the past week or so since he's been there. Garoppolo, he's been doing decent throwing, and I think he's going to get a lot of yards by just even throwing them to McCaffrey and just using the weapons that he has. I think it's not going to be a blowout, but like the Chargers defense isn't what it used to be, so I think they're still able to get some yards out of it. Total odds, it's plus 5,087, and my $2 I put down on it is going to be equal to $102 because it's a free bet, so you don't get those $2 added on. I think it's a pretty simple bet. I mean, I think everything's pretty possible on that, but who knows? It could go up in the air, especially with that when you do those anytime touchdowns. That's definitely where it gets difficult. If I would recommend, if you're just getting into bets, try just picking games first, and then go into like a little bit more like receptions. Just check, if you're in fantasy football, just check what you're doing, what the players are doing, like average per week, and say, well, they've been getting 6 receptions every week the past so many weeks, and they have it here over 2.5. So obviously, I think that's almost like a given on sometimes, but you just have to know which one to take. Okay. The next one I have up for my parlays is a Sunday player prop parlay with it's a 6-leg, and I put this on Caesar. The first one coming up is a risky one. I just chose it because it's given like plus 116, and when everything else in there is given like minus 114, minus 120. Josh Jacobs over 87.5 rushing yards. I think I mostly took this just to try to save my fantasy football for the end of the year, because he has to start getting yards now. I think with who he's going against, he's going to be able to get it. I think they're going to be able to hopefully rush him and get those yards. And just, it was worth the risk, I think, but we'll see. Next I have Kenneth Walker over 78.5 rushing yards. I think that's definitely going to happen. I really have no worries on that one. I mean, Seattle's been doing pretty good with that, so, and Tampa has not been playing that well, so I think they're going to be able to get those yards. I picked Saquon over 21.5 rush attempts. Like I said, when you get deeper into this, just look at the stats, look at the like patterns and stuff. He's been getting around 20 to 25 rush attempts anyways. I think he's going to probably get around 25, 26, just because he's going to probably kill out the game with a couple runs and just do a long drive at the end. I think that's where it's going to get like at least 5 or 6 rush attempts. Also, a little risky on this as well, but I always joke about it because you got to use them. I chose Derrick Henry, uh, 2+ touchdowns. I mean, in that game, he's really not the only person that can score, but I just see him getting those yards. Getting those, getting the yards and getting the touchdowns. I don't think it's too far out there to think he's going to get 2 touchdowns, considering the odds on that were like plus 380 when everyone else is at plus 600. So I don't think it's too risky. But it is risky because he has to get in there twice. I think he's definitely going to get one, but two is like, it's not like a 100% guarantee. Next up, I have Juju Smith-Schuster. I have him over 5.5 receptions. I checked and he's been getting like 7 or 8 lately in a game, like the past couple games. So I'll take 5.5. I mean, it was plus on that too. It was like plus 100, so I didn't mind taking that. And then I picked Jeff Wilson Jr. over 1.5 receptions. He plays in the Dolphins now, and I have him in my fantasy, and luckily I kept him on there after McCaffrey went to the Niners, because now he's being used more over in Miami. So I'm liking what he's getting targets. He's been getting about 3 targets the past 2 games he's been with him, so I'm not worried about that. That should hit pretty easily. Odds on that one, because a couple of those risky bets are going to be plus 9,089, and I turn my $2 again into $184. So it's going to be really good. I think that should hit, but like I said, I like to usually do more running backs and my receivers sometimes and tight ends, but running backs have their weeks, so if everything hits, that'd be great. Next up, I have my Sunday game parlay. This is just gonna be a little 6-leg parlay on just the Sunday games in general. It's gonna be Seattle plus 2.5 at Tampa Bay. Obviously, this game is not at Tampa Bay, but they're the home team in a sense because they're gonna be playing over in Munich, which is over in Germany. So that'll be interesting. Football day tomorrow from 9:30 all the way up until midnight, pretty much. A couple gaps between like the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock and 4 o'clock and Sunday night, but not too much. I just see that game, Seattle just doing what they've been doing lately and just winning the game. And they're getting points, so that's easy pick for me. Titans -3 versus the Broncos. Titans are at home, and they're only getting -3 against the Broncos team that has been pretty garbage as of late. I'll take that any day. -3 is like the average they give you when it's like a pretty even race between teams. But they give you that 3 points just because you're home. So I'll take that. That's why I said same thing with Henry. I think he's gonna get the 2 touchdowns against the Broncos. He's been the past 2 to 3 games he got 2 touchdowns in a row. So I mean, it's just looking at the patterns. I think it's gonna happen again. Cowboys -5 at Packers. I see the Cowboys covering this. Hurts to say because I got some relatives that are Packers fans. My wife was a Packers fan. Now she's more of a Bills fan. But I just see the Cowboys covering it because the Packers just have not been great. If the Packers come back and play well, good on them. I just don't see them playing that well at this point. Next up, I have Lions at the Bears. I chose this game under 48.5. I don't know why that line is so high, but that has to be a given because they're not going to get those points at this point. But I chose them. I just chose it because it just makes no sense for it to go that high. I know Lions have been scoring points and Bears have been scoring more. I just see this being a very low, like not low scoring, but probably like a 20-24 game. Something like that where it's not too low scoring, but I shouldn't go any more over that. Next up I have Vikings at the Bills, and I have that being over 44.5. I took that because honestly, I don't see the Bills. If the Bills win this game, which I think they can, it looks like Josh Allen could be playing, I guess. Which, not a huge fan of that. I mean, I love that he's going to play. I hope it's risk reward pans out, because if something happens, knock on wood, then I'm just gonna be coming down on that, on the coaches and whoever decided to let him play. I know Allen's probably pushing for it, but you can't let them get everything they want. Sometimes you have to think what's better for the player and what's better for the organization. But we'll see when everything goes down. But I just didn't like taking any of the either Vikings plus 3 or Bills plus 3.5, whatever it was, or even money lines. I took the over. I think it's gonna be over. One team's gonna score enough points, and the other team's gonna be trying to score enough points to keep up, and it can really go either way. But I think it's definitely gonna be more of like a 28, 24 type of game, or like a 31-28 type of game. Then I could also see it being like a 31-21 type of game, 31-24, where there could be a bigger gap as well. But they're still going to give you over 44 points. I mean, it's pretty crazy that it's that low. I think it's because the Bills haven't been playing that well, and Josh Allen might have not been in the game. I'm also taking the Browns. This is my last leg of this. Browns at Miami. I chose the under 48.5. Both teams, with how both teams go, and they're going to be running the ball more. I mean, obviously Miami's throwing the ball, but Browns are going to try to control the game on the ground. I just think it's going to pan out and work out where it's just going to be more of like a 17-21 or 17-24 type of game. I don't think it's going to get any more drastic than that. That's why I took the under 48.5 on that. Total odds, it's going to be 48.58, and that turns my $3, which I put this through. I think it was through FanDuel as well, through the $3, the $3 I had over there. The $3 I had, and that turns my $3 into 148. So that's good odds. I mean, not too bad. I'm not gonna shy off on that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you don't have to take all 6 picks I choose on any of these parlays. Just go through what I say and just look at the explanations. If it makes sense to you, then you're like, oh, that's actually a very smart bet. Put it down. Put 2 or 3 of these down, or even take a handful and make a little small 4-leg parlay out of it, and boom, you could have you can add like $30 per dollar. That's not bad. Like I said, I don't put big money on this. If I would bet $10, I'd probably do a lot more 4 or 5 leg parlays, and I could make even 3-4 leg parlays. You put $10 down, you can win sometimes $100 off a 3-leg parlay. That's not bad. Next up, I have tasting and rating of a tasty brew. You saw earlier, something new. I forget, Rombach brewing company. The name is a Space Kitty. Got a little cat with a mask on. A helmet on. It's kind of funny. Citra double IPA, double Indiana Pale IPA. It's definitely more West Coast like hop flavor to it. But let's do a nice little pour for you boys. It's, like I said, the color's gonna be nothing special here. Nice dark, kind of dark roast to it. It's nice to me, at least. And let me see. I'll see what the description. I know this company is said this award-winning American double IPA features a trio of rare hops high in alpha acids and juicy oils that mimic the West Coast style we love so dearly. West Coast style is good. Definitely could be acquired taste to certain people. Um, it said, yeah, do not age space kitty and please drink fresh. So, yeah, this is it's a company that's based out of Rochester actually. Um, and yeah, bottled and brewed in Rochester. So it is pretty local, and it's 8.4%. So it's not a bad beer. I actually really do like it. I've been more used to the little juicier tasting IPAs, but that is super West Coast tasting. Like it's that style of hops where it's like super dry and bitter, and like stays in the back of your mouth. Not bad. I mean, like I said, I used to drink a lot of it when I was. That's where I started drinking IPAs. Was over in the West Coast, so I mean, gotta love it. And that was a Stone. I'll try to grab some of that Stone Brewing Company stuff that I used to do over there, and if I could find anything from the one over in Carlsbad, Mother Earth's, they have great beer too there. Um, so let's go off of taste. I'll give it like a good like 7.2. Like I said, definitely more on the dry bitter side at the end. I've kind of spoiled myself with the nicer tasting, like fruity, like good end tasting IPAs, but I do miss the SoCal, like West Coast IPAs as well, where there's more of a, you're drinking an IPA because there's the hops hit a lot harder, and that's the whole point of it. Like a lot of people over there, the hoppier the better, the more better the better. So I'll give it 7.2. I just, like I said, I wouldn't want to. That's not something I haven't been used to, so I couldn't rate it any higher than that at the moment. Um, the color of it, I mean, like I said, it's more of like a darker like orange, like not like an amber, but like not your normal color. I mean, I'd give it like a 5.5, 6. I mean, it's nothing crazy. I mean, when we get towards like more darker and like more sours and things like that, we can kind of change between that. Drinkability, I'll give it like a 6.2. Personally, like I said, I used to love these, and that's why I started drinking IPAs. But at this point, I've been more on the hazy IPA side, and Voodoo Ranger does a nice way of hiding the at least the ABVs on this, because I don't know how they have a 9.5 that tastes less than an 8.4, or 9.5 that tastes pretty similar to a 7.5. It's pretty wild to me, but they do a good job with that. But yeah, it's not a bad grade for that, to be honest. I mean, for some people, that I guarantee most people that have never had IPAs would probably put that as a 0, because most people I know that try to drink IPAs that never tried it before, they just wash it down the drain because, oh, that's disgusting. I don't like the aftertaste. I mean, you have to know what you're coming into. And if you don't like things like that, like it's more of an acquired taste. It's not something you just pick up. Like people don't start drinking liquor and go, "Oh man, that tastes great." I mean, anything like any alcohol in general, it's more of acquired taste. So give it a chance. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. But I would definitely recommend getting this one. It's pretty good. Bingeability. I mean, you could, but I would give it more like a 5.5, because you're definitely not drinking that much of these. And design, I like it. I like the cute little kitty cat got little ears popping out of the helmet and shit. And I like the color, like in like the space ish, like the later dark blue. Rocking the company logo pretty well, and just I don't know, just the setup of the can, and like just a nice little explanation on it, where that's one of the bigger like explanations you'll see on it, but that's more local stuff. But it's nice. It tells you, like, kind of gives you like a story behind this beer. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the taste and rating. Definitely a good beer. I mean, if you like I said, if you like the West Coast style, you're gonna love this. And if you're not used to it, just give it a shot and try to. I mean, if it's something you might like, then just go for it. Next up, I'm gonna be going through my upcoming videos. I'm gonna be doing a Monday Night Football parlay and prediction, as well as Bills versus Vikings post game reaction. The Monday Night Football parlay, I'll be dropping that tomorrow, probably like afternoon, evening time. The Bills Vikings post game, I'll probably be doing that Monday. I'll probably record it Sunday and you either drop it Monday or Tuesday, and then I'll be doing a Thursday Night Football parlay and reaction as well. I mean, Thursday Night Football parlay and prediction as well. But for this game, for that Sunday Night Football game, the score, with it being the Niners and the Chargers, I see Niners going up. I'll give them 31 to like a 20 type of game. I don't think the Chargers have enough in the tank, and I think they're gonna be playing. There's gonna be a lot of garbage time yards in the end, personally. And can't forget my sponsors. My wife, Crochet with Elisha. You can find her on Instagram. It's crochet with, all spelled out, Elisha, all one word, everything. You can find her on Instagram. She does a lot of stuff like hats, mittens, gloves, all for winter, scarves. She can make them up really quick. Especially like kid stuff. Kid stuff gets made super fast. She's done these really cool Dragon Scout gloves before. She's done cardigans pretty quickly. She's done big blankets. She's done stuffed animals, dolls, anything you can think of. She's made. Just check out the page. If you see anything, shoot her a DM, and she'll definitely reach out to you with prices and stuff. Then my buddy Evan over at Mr. Nasty Time. It's Mr. _ NASTY TYYYME. Check out his channel. He put out something for this UFC fight. He's got a good parlay going so far. Honestly, just check it out. He knows his knowledge on that crap. If you know UFC, you'll love listening to his content because he follows the fighters, knows how they fight, knows how they're like, where their roots were, where they're going to try to going and changing a little bit, and like their preferences. Just check him out for that. And also, he does weekly rankings for power rankings for the NFL. He does 1 through 32, the whole thing, explaining each team. Takes about an hour to go through it. You want to move to like where you think your stuff is at, move around, but he's spending a little less time on the lower end and spending more time explaining the higher end as of late because they're getting to that point of the season. But definitely check him out. He has very good content and is very knowledgeable in all this stuff. And he also does gaming. He moved over from Twitch over to YouTube now. So he's full YouTube on everything. He's streaming a lot of Modern Warfare 2 at the moment. And also my hopefully future sponsor, New Belgium Voodoo Ranger. Check it out. Great beer. Like I said, try Juice Force. That's a 9.5%. And once you try that, and if you like hazy IPAs, you're not going to go back to what you've been drinking. You might go occasionally, but you're going to go more towards that Voodoo Ranger because it's only like 3 to 350 for like nice 19-ounce can. And at 9.5%, you probably don't need at most 3 of them, probably 2, if you're not doing an all-nighter type of thing. So, I mean, it's definitely cheap to get a nice little buzz in and just relax. But that's going to be it for this video. And as always, go Bills, and I'm out.